Brennan, and joining me tonight is Jess.
Hello, everybody.
And Nicole.
Hi.
And tonight we're doing Pearl, the new, it's called a horror movie. It's like a period piece. This is a prequel to a movie that came out like 5 or 6 months ago called X. And at the end of that movie, there is a trailer for this movie because they filmed them back to back. Did you guys see? No, never mind. Nicole, you didn't see X. Did you see X, Jess, or no? Or did you not aware of this?
I didn't even know that this was a prequel to a movie. It seemed like it was like a standalone movie.
Yeah, it works as a standalone. The other movie takes place in the 70s, so they're like 60 years apart. In that movie, Pearl is like an old woman, and she's well, you know, I won't spoil anything here, but yeah, and you, Nicole, you didn't know it either, right?
Mm-mm.
Trapped in her family's isolated farm, Pearl must tend to her ailing father under the bitter and overbearing watch of her devout mother. Lusting for a glamorous life like she's seen in the movies, Pearl finds her ambitions and temptations all colliding in the stunning Technicolor-inspired origin story of X's iconic villain. So she's, Pearl is the villain in X. She's an old lady, and this is her origin story, which comes out right after. So if you liked X, which got I think like a 94 on Rotten Tomatoes and a lot of high scores from people. It was very popular. Same director, same writer team. Mia Goth wrote it with him back to back. And this one is also getting high praise so far. 88 Rotten Tomatoes, 81 audience score, and I think in the 7s on the other IMDb, Metacritic, those guys. So well received couple of films so far. And if you haven't seen it, it's in theaters, I think only theaters, and we are going to spoil it now. So, you know, if you don't want to hear it, it's the part.
Let's do it.
In 1918... Spoil it! In 1918, it's been a few weeks since we've had everyone on. This is episode 301, did you guys know that? Last episode was 300, I didn't even say it. I completely forgot.
Whoa!
Yeah.
You've been doing this for way too long.
There's other like little episodes in there I didn't even count. It's just like the regular. 1918, Pearl is a young woman living with her German immigrant parents on a Texas homestead, and she's waiting for her husband Howard to return from serving in World War I. And most of the movie is following Pearl around on the farm. She goes into town to get medicine for her ailing father, who is he's in like a chair. I don't know what he's got. He's got some sort of plague. This is also going on during Spanish flu, right before Spanish flu was really bad. So everyone's got masks on in the movie, kind of like just a couple years ago, or I guess that last year. Sometimes now, I don't know. It's a very weird parallel seeing this 100 years ago, and it was like, this is like the only other time this was happening.
What you're talking about?
Why are you not the masks? Everyone's wearing masks.
It was a joke. It was literally a joke about COVID. That it's technically over.
Biden said it was over.
Right.
Anyway, Pearl, we learn quickly.
I just rolled my eyes so hard you probably heard it on the episode.
I don't even know what you started this about. We find out through her actions and behaviors that Pearl is odd. She behaves strangely. She's socially awkward in situations and has violent outbursts. And we watch her unravel as things happen to the other people around her. That's all I can give for now. Nicole, what'd you think of Pearl?
Oh, well. Guess we'll start at the beginning. It's a good place to start.
Yeah.
My friend at work asked me what this movie was about because I told him I was going to go see it, and I didn't want to spoil it for myself, so I just looked up. I forget. I guess it was on Wikipedia maybe, and I just read like the first line, and it said something like German refugee family moves to Texas, and the daughter is being taken care of by her German mother and ailing father. And I was like, okay. And then we get to the fucking movie. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't call him ailing. I would call him fucking vegetative, first off.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think ailing is a little...
He cannot talk or move. He can kind of eat. Like, he kind of slurp soup things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about all you can do. Yeah.
And I wouldn't really say that she's being taken care of by her mom. Seems like there's quite a bit of animosity going on here. So, yeah, that led me in a different path than what I was actually viewing. Started off really interesting. I know A24 films always like to have some sort of pre-movie credit roll type of business where they're setting the scene for us, and we get like it feels like Leave It to Beaver in the beginning, really, to me, style, but it's obviously supposed to be set way older than that. In
the old intro with her and
and I'm like, this isn't the 50s, this is 1918. So,
it's like the really old movies, like the old, like from that era. Yeah.
Yeah, so, a lot of setup here with Pearl on the farm and doing all that type of stuff, and at the very end of the pre-movie, she feeds a goose to an alligator. So I'm like, all right, this is going to be interesting. It kind of leads pretty much exactly how I think it's going to lead throughout the whole thing. Not knowing what X is and not knowing that this person grows up to be this old evil person. I don't think that I was losing anything by not knowing that.
Mm-hmm.
Brennan did tell me, but I could have watched this easily without knowing that. Really eerie shit in here. I don't really know if I like it yet, and once we talk about it more, I will be able to make up my mind. But yeah, it's an odd story, and I feel like there's really only a few things that happen, but they take a long time to happen in this.
Yeah, it took an hour 40, but yeah, not a lot of ground covered. Literally, I mean, just the ground between the city and the farm. Jess.
Well, I'll start by saying, sometimes when I watch a movie, the first 10 seconds into it, I get really mad at Brennan for making me watch it. So
you said that a lot more recently.
Well, because we just watch a lot more shitty movies. Like, the first 10 seconds into this, I'm like, this is the fucking Crucible. Like, why am I watching
Crucible?
this?
The Crucible? I don't even know what that's supposed to be.
You don't know the Crucible? Wait, Nicole, do you know
I know what the Crucible is. I don't know why this is like the Crucible.
Because it looked like the Crucible. Like, when I, like...
You're referring to the throwback style it is going for?
I guess. Like, that's just... I just got Crucible vibes. That's the only way I can explain it. Just the...
Alright. Crucible vibes, if anyone knows. You're related... Someone's related to that out there, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Like, the outfits, like, just the way it's shot. Like, very vivid colors, but, like, old style kind of film. Like, whatever this is going for. And you could already tell what kind of, like... I don't know, what is the word? Like... theme or like style it's going for. It's just kind of old-timey, and like it is like an looks like an old-time movie that they just tried to redo, but they still kept the old-time kind of charm to it. Honestly, This could have been shot a long time ago, and I would have been like, oh, this is just an old movie. I never would have thought it was shot like today. But I was not enthused. Like, I was not scared. I didn't like the killings and the bleedings, and Pearl was just so fucking annoying. Like, I didn't enjoy watching this.
That's a really good point to never call it a horror film. I would never call this a horror film.
No.
Well, that's why I hesitated at the beginning. I'm like, it's not really scary like that.
It's your kind of scary that you like, not the kind of scary
it is. Oh yeah,
like.
Yeah. I mean, like I yes, you're right. I like this, but I also wouldn't call this scary. X is scary.
Like your mom would watch this and like she'd be fine.
No, I bet not. We just watched a movie.
She just doesn't like the blood.
She doesn't like... No, Pearl smiling would scare her. She's really afraid of that kind of stuff. Remember the host we just did? She didn't like the creepy girl in that. She wouldn't like the creepy girl. This would be too scary for her. But you did not enjoy this.
No. I didn't care, like, what was on Pearl's mind, like, the sudden click of when she went crazy. Like, no part of me was really involved in this character's motivations or any of her stupid nuances around the farm.
Interesting. This is I'll compare it to X first, since I'm the only one who saw that. I liked X. I like this a little better. This because this is what's Crucible style, I guess. I like I like the old throwback nature of it. I like how it feels like a classic movie. It looks like sharp, but like the musical cues and the length of shot, like shots are long and they're drawn out, and that's something that you don't really do in movies anymore.
Especially the font. I forgot what the word said, but like beginning of the movie, what word was it? I forgot.
The whole thing is that old font. It's that old I don't know what it's called either. But the opening credits that where she kills the goose and features the alligator all the way to the title is all like old school. I don't know what font that is.
It was very distracting.
No, I like that. That's the style. That's the choice. That's
the Crucible style.
It's I like it because otherwise because it stands out. It's memorable. It looks different than stuff that's made nowadays. And I
like walking into an antique store.
It's like walking into an antique store. The X you guys probably like X more. Or I don't know about. He says like Nicole's on the fence, but Jess, you would probably like X because X is like a real. It's not stylistically like this. It's more like a straightforward horror movie. I would actually call that decently scary. And then this is a complete departure. It's a total style shift. But I like all the style choices. It's a little slow. It's a little like drawn out in the first. I'd say 40 minutes are like I'm enjoying it, but it's just kind of slow paced. And then from when she gets to like the theater and like meets the projectionist. Pretty much through the end, I'm like pretty on board with it. I really like her monologue when we get there, but this mostly worked for me. What? Whose argument sounded more persuasive at this moment, Nicole?
I think I can put Nicole on my side. I think pretty easily.
Oh my god, that's so hilarious! It does look like that.
Wait, did you get my text?
Yeah.
Oh, you can't be doing that on the podcast.
Sorry, I'll put it in the group chat. I thought you were going to yell at me.
Non-visual cues.
Well, I thought you were going to yell at me if I texted you during the show.
Yeah, no phones allowed, Jess. The fuck? The thing about I think it's got to be something with the A24 movie house that decides to make this a movie, and then at some point they decide to go completely off the rails and make something quite grotesque. And they did that at the end of this. And I don't like that shift so abruptly and like so brutally.
At which point you don't like the shift?
At the end where the deceased are sitting at the table for months on end. I don't like that kind of stuff because it feels so...
You don't like the...
Yeah, it feels so different than the rest.
You don't like the ham being with all the
No,
worms?
the pig sitting out with the...
Oh, yeah, I like all that stuff.
Yeah, you like all that stuff because you find these indie-inspired films to be fascinating.
Yeah.
And we're over here like, okay, this is
just
weird.
Grotesque.
I derived enjoyment
I'm actually shocked that she didn't eat the pig at that time because I thought that was the route they would take.
Just take a fistful of maggot.
They would just make
pork.
it that extra disgusting, like for no reason. Same with Midsummer and shit. Like they just, those showing the guy that jumps off the cliff. Sorry. That stuff's like out of pocket for the rest of the movie. I don't know. I like watching the progression of Pearl become more and more in tune with her craziness, and whatever her mom said to her is coming true. I wonder what Pearl was like as a child, because the mom really has some strong feelings about her.
Yeah.
And how wretched she's been as a daughter for years, but she didn't seem that awful to us, right?
Well, see, like that's what I liked about the dinner scene when the shit goes down, like the begin, like the during the thunderstorm, because up until that point, Pearl's like she's a little like she's weird, but like we don't know like how much yet. She's killed the goose with no expression on her face, which is which is a farmer, whatever. We'll get over that. And then she does like scarecrow mating or whatever she's doing in the cornfield.
That scene.
Of course you did. Of course you did.
Well, what
I didn't love it either.
I did. I feel like no one wants to watch that.
No, that's what Brennan thinks is style. And
I was thinking. No, oh no. It was an hour 42-minute movie, and I was thinking the beginning did drag a little. I was like, if I had to cut something, what would I cut? And then I thought, like, you know what? I guess I'd cut the scarecrow scene because I thought the hat was gonna be something, or like the scarecrows, like she's gonna put someone up in the field as a scare. Like I thought that was gonna come back, but it never did. So I'm like, you could maybe cut that. But that's not the point. The point I was saying is
that came around was when the mom was like, "I know what you do when you think no one's watching you," and then we're like, "Okay, so she watches her do all that freaky weird shit."
Exactly. We kind of know. We kind of slowly know that like Pearl's like weird and crazy. Then the mom freaks out. Like this is why we live in this isolated place because you are too crazy to be around like the world. And like she's the mom's also obviously got problems too. She's fucking off her rocker. And then the dad is always in the rocker. And so, but like the best stuff is like after like the projectionist through, I don't know, some of the actual killings are like they're uninspired because like Jess said, and we've got to pay off the visual cue. She texted the group just a Google search of the Crucible, the Google image search of the Crucible.
You should put it up on the Instagram so at least everyone can see what we were looking at.
I will put up, I'll put up something on the Instagram and say, does this? I'll figure out how to word it. But does this equal what you saw in Pearl? Because I think there's about 300, 400, 500 maybe years of difference, possibly continents too. I think, but yeah, it's possible.
It's just all the plaguiness.
It's the plague. Yeah, it's the plaguey vibe. That's what it is. So you don't like the
font's kind of the same. Well, it's just like I don't know what font that old font is.
You know all that stuff's like I think it's just like all old stuff kind of just looks the same to you. I don't know what year, but maybe like everything at a certain age cliff. 1980, 1989 or something.
If it's not new, it's old.
If it's not new, it's the Crucible. Everything before now was the Crucible.
What did you think about the relationship between Pearl and her sister-in-law?
So at first, I thought the sister-in-law was just like that bitchy girl who was going to invite Pearl to this church dancing and then like make fun of her with her friends. Like I really didn't trust her at all, but she actually did have good intentions and like was a good sister-in-law to Pearl.
There was actually a point when like she shows up. When she shows up, it's kind of almost out of place to me because she shows up with the mom and they're like well-to-do, and the Howard, who we don't see this whole movie, he's in X too, by the way. He's another old dude, and he's I'm curious to know more about Howard because we don't really get a lot of information about him. But the when they show up, his family, they're well-to-do, they look nice, and I'm like, oh, look, maybe she can get away. And then we realize, oh, no, she's never going to get away because the fucking brain doesn't work. Her brain's all fucked up.
Yeah.
But the sister, or what is she, sister-in-law, I guess, like, I don't know, like, where, I don't quite understand either, like, where everything is here. Like, the farm's by itself. There's the church they go to, which is, like, is that, like, in town? Like, where is, what's going on here? Like,
yeah, well, clearly there's a town. She has to drive to town to go get the medicine and everything.
So, and, like, Pearl's ultimate goal is to get on stage or be in movies. She wants to be famous. She wants to be a star. And her big hope is this chorus line, like a touring chorus line of dancers that go around. It sounds like the state, and that's like the big break. I'm like, oh my god, these times.
Well, I don't think she necessarily wants to be a star. I think she just wants to escape her hometown, and that's literally the only outlet she knows how to. So
She does performances for the animals though, like that's like part of like what she does in between like murdering the animals. She dances for them and then murders them.
I had a preconceived notion going in. Real quick, the sister-in-law, I actually really like her because she starts to ground Pearl a little bit, but by the end of the conversation they have at the table, we just can tell how truly crazed Pearl is. It doesn't matter if she has a confidant, like you're toast. And I liked that part of it. Because she wasn't going to say anything. I don't think she would have. I think she was terrified.
No, I think she wanted out of there. She just wanted out of there.
Yeah, I don't think she was going to say anything. And she was being very polite and kept her grounded, but at her demise, it's unfortunate. But I'm so fixated on other movies that we've seen recently, particularly things like Lamb and Men. And I, for some reason, I had this thought that orange cow that was staring at her the whole time was going to be some sort of spiritual thing, or she was going to fuck that cow. I don't know. I thought it was going that way.
Honestly, I would not be surprised.
Yeah.
You were thinking of Lamb and Men, and you were like, "This is A24. Maybe it'll just start being really, really weird."
Or that cow is going to be sacrificed to the alligator, and the head. She's going to take the head off the cow and stick it on her dad or something. I don't know.
I thought the stuff
there would be nothing that Pearl could do that I would not be surprised.
Right?
Like, there's that one thing.
I would have been fine with all that. I would have been fine if they kept pushing the envelope.
Of course you would.
I don't know why you would be. I don't know why you want to see something so conventional. It's let's go all out. Dream sequence and how the dream. Jess, you like dancing in movies? How'd you like the dream dance?
Yeah, I don't like this kind of dancing in movies.
Crucible dancing.
How it's like. Yeah, do you know how there's like those TikToks where it's like girls when they're 13 dancing and it's like girls 13 dancing now? It's like girls 13 dancing like in the 90s or whatever, where they just have those. I don't even know how to describe it.
The 1890s?
Yeah, square dancing or whatever they did.
It's just too much. It's too much imagery and it's too much symbolism of the World War I and the bombs going off and stuff. Like, I don't know.
You got the mom in the chair, the burned mom in the chair saying no, because she's the one who holds her back.
They go back and forth so much with trying to relate it to the rest of the movie or trying to be different, trying to be the same thing, trying to be different. I feel like it just gets lost a lot. I thought it was stupid.
That's too bad. So she's she doesn't get the role. That's the big thing that doesn't happen. She doesn't get the part to leave, and then she does her monologue, which I was very much enjoying. I felt very sad for her.
Yeah,
it was very well delivered. I was very much moved in that part. That was very like Toni Collette in Hereditary or Florence Pugh in Midsommar. Like that was like a really just like scene-stealing piece of it all, and I was like, that sets it in, because I was enjoying it up to this point, and then that really it's so, and she's sympathetic, but like she's still gross. She's still like, but I just want to get away from you immediately. I really don't want to be around you.
I was like, all the artsy folk are gonna eat this up.
That's right.
This is like your typical
We loved it.
long, what is it, a soliloquy or whatever it's called. I don't know.
Hey, I'm gonna add another defense in though. Usually when it's the ones that are like the artsy ones and then the people don't like it, you got like, a high 80s Rotten Tomato score, but then the audience score will be like 50. The audience score here is 81. Like, it's not like the critic score is way ahead of the
all the U's in the world.
All U's.
Saw this.
I think there's probably plenty of people who just, went to see a horror movie in the theater. That's still people still.
Well, they probably left a bad review because I wouldn't call it a horror film.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems to be working for people. I'm chewing ice right into the mic. Can't do that. All right, so she's gonna kills everybody, puts them all up at the table. Howard comes home from the war, and she's like, "Oh, we're gonna just live here now."
Did you ever
Isn't
think that
nice?
Howard was not real?
Well,
or that Howard was like already dead? How old was she supposed to be in this?
I don't
know. Like 15.
Well, I think she's supposed to be. I think she's stunted growth, but like I think she's probably supposed to be in her 20s and just like never, goes anywhere. Like, so she acts like a 12-year-old or whatever. Mia Goth.
They make her look like she's like 15.
Mia Goth is 29. So
our age, yeah.
Yeah, it's a classic. We could play if you still play a high schooler, I guess. But yeah, she kills everybody. Howard comes home, and we know Howard's not an imaginary. If you had seen the original one, if you had seen X, because Howard is an X, and Howard loves Pearl and X. Howard is very protective of his wife, so I
thought there was going to be more family drama because it seemed like the families didn't even get along. They were just in two different classes and had two different cultures. So I was like, how did they get together in the first place? Like, how did these families like have this marriage happen? Thought we were gonna learn more about that, but
maybe there'll be another prequel.
Talked about.
That's a really good thought.
I really thought it was gonna be more like drama and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, if they're immigrants, how did they come into knowing this well-to-do family?
Well, it sounds. I don't think they don't know that Howard met Pearl somehow. We don't know how they met, but the only snippet we hear is that like Howard wants to run away from his privileged life and live on the farm with Pearl, and Pearl wants to use Howard to escape.
That.
Yeah,
they said Howard was like a farmhand.
Yeah, if Howard wants to live on the farm, Howard doesn't want to live the privileged life, and we hear in Pearl's monologue that she wanted to use Howard to get out of the farm, and then Howard's like, "No, let's just stay here," and then he goes off to war and leaves her on the farm with paralyzed dad and German mom who beats her, and so she hates Howard, but then that's all she's got at the end because she murders all the other people that are in the movie. Pretty much, like all the other principal characters that talk, other than the people at the church. Everyone else out of the acts of Pearl.
They also, what was the whole thing with the caged bird?
That cage.
The parakeet.
I think that cage is in is still hanging there.
So we just had to pick every little fucking thing from the first movie.
Well, if you had seen, sense. But it sounds like maybe you guys would have liked it. Well, no, you probably wouldn't have. Maybe Nicole, maybe you would have liked it more if you had seen X and caught little extra things. But as a movie on its own,
I don't think I would have been exciting myself if I saw the bird cage. I was just curious.
Okay. Some people like Easter eggs in movies. It sounds like you're not interested, but
I'm not interested.
Okay, well then no, you didn't need to see the other one originally. Although I think you would have. I think both of you would have liked that more because it's.
So would it be anything to watch it now after I've seen this one?
Yeah. Oh, I think you would like it now because you now know this character and that movie is a more straightforward horror movie.
Is it played by the same woman?
Yeah, but she's got old age. You cannot tell it's her. And Mia Goth plays another character, a younger character in the movie, too. But like you cannot tell it's her. Like the old age, like it's insanely good. But like the makeup's very good. But movie's pretty good too. Any other points on Pearl? Anything else we wanted to bring up?
Jess, did you know that actress is Shia LaBeouf's wife?
Yeah. I googled it and I was like, okay, I understand.
That's a shame.
She's having a baby now, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, you guys talking about this yesterday, the Shia LaBeouf wife. Recommending Pearl. Jess, get the obvious one out of the way.
Yeah.
Nicole?
I don't think so. Because I think about the people I normally recommend stuff to, and there's not a single person that comes to mind that would say, "Oh wow, that was actually really interesting."
Your friend at work who asked you what you were seeing or whatever, that you would tell them not to see this.
He would not like this. No.
Okay, well, that's pretty good gauge. I would recommend this. I think I had a fun time with it. It's throwbacky. I guess you have to like movies to, like, you know, old movies, not like present movies, but like classic cinema, throwback stuff. This is very clearly made by a team of people who like really like classic stuff and like a lot of homages and throwbacky things in here. So it is going to be a feast for the eyes for those people. And if you don't like things from before 2000, it will look like The Crucible to you. So there you go. Well, one recommend, two not recommends for Pearl. And we have there's all new stuff coming up right now. Tar and Till and the movie with all the drama behind it. What's that? Don't Worry, Darling? Is that what it's called?
Another Shia LaBeouf.
Related drama. Yeah, great. I get to talk about.
I'm excited to watch it, but like I just can't believe the reviews were so bad.
I know. I was really excited to see it, and because it's Olivia Wilde, so Booksmart. We all like Booksmart, and but like all of the things coming out have not been good. All the drama not good. Reviews are not good. So I want to give it a fair shake. I'll be seeing it soon, but that'll be the next review with Mama Kay, and I think our Noelle will be returning to do that show as well. So we'll get Noelle back on for another show. In the meantime, to recommend things to us, Films with the Women in My Life on Facebook. Reach out to me on Instagram. I'm Brennan_podhost. And you can email the show filmswiththewomen@gmail.com. Thank you guys for being on for Pearl.
Boy, bye.
You're welcome.
Until next time, this is Brennan signing off, saying thanks for listening and enjoy your movies.
Thanks for listening to Films with the Women in My Life. If you enjoyed being a listener in our life, please rate and subscribe on Apple Podcasts or on your favorite podcast app. Keep up with the latest from the show on Instagram at Brennan_podhost, on Facebook at Films with the Women in My Life, and on Twitter at FilmsWomenPod. Finally, you can email the show with questions and suggestions at filmswiththewomen@gmail.com. Original music for the show was created by Ian Burke and Chris Iwanek. Original artwork created by Nicole D'Alessio. This show is produced by Brennan Snyder. Thank you again for listening and enjoy your movies.